you're ready for the acrylic finish. So you just apply it onto a cloth and then rub it over the areas you painted.
Holla at your boy, holla at your Rob Roy. Back at it again, just to be back at it again, my friend. I told y'all I'm gonna give y'all the freshest of fresh content I can find on the internet. I'm gonna give you the ideas as we receive the ideas. Shout out to MikeandIce.com. We got laundry bags. We got cleaning kits. We also do custom shoes. And don't forget, shoe restorations. Alright? This next video is about the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales. So for further ado, let's get into it.
Here I'm just using blue painter's tape. I'm masking off every area that's be white. I'm gonna go into the tongue area as well, and then carefully work into the details using an X-Acto blade, as you can see here. Flathead screw is a great tool to get the nooks and crannies. Once you have the area properly masked, you can trim off the extra with an X-Acto blade. This is a rinse and repeat process until you get all the white areas masked off. Once you've masked off all the white areas, you're ready to start with the red paint. Give your paint a good shake. I suggest some water on the side to prevent any heavy brush strokes. And these are my painting brush, flathead, so I can cover the most area. You might have noticed that I didn't mask black areas.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you guys right there. What I was trying to say was this black area or the swoosh wasn't covered when I was doing the red, and the reason for that is because if there's any spills or mistakes that get on this area, I can cover it up with black paint just because it's more pigmented, so that's not an issue, and that's a tip maybe you can incorporate into your projects.
And with that being said, let's go back and paint. Make sure you take your time, even though the areas that you don't want red are already masked off. With a finer brush, touch up any areas missed. Once you filled in all the areas, you're ready for the next step. Grab your cotton swab and some acrylic thinner. The purpose of this is to remove any mistakes you might have made during this painting process. So even though I was careful, there was still some bleeding. It's no big deal, we can remove it like so. Here I got some red paint on my hands while handling the shoes. Make sure to always check your hands because the last thing you want is unwanted fingerprints on the project. Now that my hand's clean, I'm ready to move on to the next part. This is pretty straightforward, just apply the black to the swoosh into the areas like so. Give that a minute, it dries pretty quick, and then you're ready for the reveal, taking off the masking tape. You check that out, they look pretty close. Alright, and same as before, come back in with the cotton swab and acrylic thinner and remove any mistakes you might have made. Now with an even finer brush, I'm going to get the details you probably won't notice unless you stare at my shoes and study them. Okay, and with that, I'm happy. And do that for the other pair as well. Once they're dried, it should take about 5 minutes. You're ready for the acrylic finish. So you just apply it onto a cloth and then rub it over the areas you painted. Now the important part here is make sure the paint is actually dry. Otherwise, you'll be rubbing in those wet paint onto the white areas you just masked off. And we don't want that. Now I recommend this step because it makes the paint soft and it prevents it from cracking when you're walking around. Another thing to note is you don't want to rub excessively because that could rub off the paint you just applied. For example, like I did here. If you did that, it's not an issue, just let it dry and come back and retouch. Once you've done all that and it's dried, you're ready to lace up the shoes. I was halfway through the lacing when I realized they weren't laced correctly. Referring back to the original picture, I was able to lace them correctly. Here you go, you got yourself some Spidey Air Jordans, or Chicago's.
And with all that, you get something that looks like this, right? They're like the Spidey Air Jordans. I know the Spidey Air Jordans have the blue on the bottom with the reflectors, and they're supposed to be Chicago's, but you know, this is as close as you get without dropping $500 or more on a pair of shoes, especially for cosplay purposes. So I think this is a very frugal way to get around that. Angela's paint, so far so good. I love them. I've been using them for a lot of my projects. If you guys haven't tried them, you should definitely check it out. I'll have a link to them in the description down below. And if you guys found that useful, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Check out my other videos I have going on somewhere here. But I've been reading you guys' comments. I know you guys have been telling me to do like the Deku armor, as well as Terra's armor. So I'll get you.
Alright, we're back at it again. He covered that video well, so it's not much I can really add to that, but it's definitely a good inspiration. We had just did a Miles Morales shoe, a different version. Maybe I'll even get it out for you real quick. So that's the one just Nike released. So I guess he's a cosplayer. You know, those shoes, they get expensive, but get a shot of that right there. We just did our own version of one. So if you like to get you some customs done, go to mikeandikes.com. You got some ideas or just want a little bit of information, comment down below. And if you need any restorations, whatever we here, I'm here to help you. I'm here to show you where I get my inspiration from. Like I said, we're bogged down. We don't have enough time to be shooting the videos, but we can also show you the road that we go along, so you don't have to worry about, you know, we do the work. We're doing the footwork for you, so you can do it yourself, or you can let us handle it. But until next time, holla at your boy, holla at your Rob Roy. Salute, and have a good one. That is a wrap.